Hey everyone, Ranjan is going to explain you today Network Address Translation, also called as NAT. It's a crucial technology that helps devices communicate over the internet. Now you might be wondering how so many devices at home or an office can access internet at the same time. Well, NAT is a crucial part of it. So now coming to NAT, what exactly is NAT? In simple terms, network address translation allows multiple users or multiple devices to access the internet through the same public IP. Think of it like an office which has multiple departments. So the office would have its own main postal address, or you can think of it like as a public IP address. Now each department internally would have its separate public IP address or the internal mail stop. Now NAT is the system that will manage how outgoing mail gets sent and how incoming mails gets delivered to the right internal destination. So this way NAT saves us from IP address exhaustion. As we know that IPv4 address uses 32-bit addresses, which can generate a 4.3 billion number of distinct IP addresses, whereas the devices number of devices accessing internet is far ahead. So this way we it saves us from IP address exhaustion. So as you can see, the router over here acts as the NAT, network address translation device, which would basically map these devices from the private network, that is laptop, mobile, those things, to the outer public address, which would access the internet. Now let's dive into the different types of network address translation. There are basically three types of network address translation. The first one is static net. So in static net, there is a one-to-one mapping of private IP address to the public IP address. It is just like assigning a permanent parking spot to a specific car. So basically, if you have 3,000 input IP addresses, private IP addresses, you will be requiring to buy 3,000 public IP addresses. So there is nowhere a chance of saving IPv4 addresses. The second type of NAT is the dynamic NAT. Basically, in this, private IP addresses are translated into public IP addresses from a pool of available public IP addresses. Just think like a parking lot with a limited number of spaces. When a particular car needs to be parked into it, it is assigned the available space. Similarly, whenever a device has to access internet, it is allocated a public IP address from the pool of available public IP addresses. So now in this way, our organization has to buy limited number of public addresses, IP addresses, and the devices which have to access internet will be allocated from the pool of public IP addresses available. So, but there is a limitation of this. Like, you may run out of public IP addresses. Like, if all the users have to access internet at the same time, at that point of time, you would not have the that number of public IP addresses in the available pool. So at that time, you would run out of the web, and this is one of the major limitation of dynamic net. Finally, we have port address translation, also known as PAT or NAT overload. This is the most common type of NAT used in day-to-day life. PAT allows you to allocate many private IP address to be translated into a single public IP address. It's like an even more efficient parking system where multiple cars can be parked at a same spot at different times, and a parking attendant keeps track of who is using the spot and when. PAT uses the port numbers to keep track of different connections. Port numbers are like unique identifiers within a public IP address. They allow the router to know which device on the private network should receive the data coming back from the internet. This is super efficient and cost effective as it allows thousands of users to share a single public IP address. So that's an overview of network address translation and its different types. NAT is a critical technology that has allowed the internet to scale and support the billions of connected devices we have today. I hope this explanation was helpful and thanks for watching.